People might say, why am I here as a part of the first team? The first team has a huge role to play, particularly with the kids. I started with the club a long time ago. It feels an awful lot longer, but probably about 10 years or so. And I spoke to Pat, particularly in the last 2-3 years when Pat came in. Pat's been on about this since he came into the club, getting an academy, doing an academy. 10 years ago was an awful lot different. The link between the first team and these kids is something I thought about 10 years ago, but it wasn't achievable really until we got into the league. When we got into the league, it was very difficult at the time, but since Pat's come on for the last 2 years, it's moved on at a rate of knots. It's incredible. It's not even recognisable to what it was 2 years ago. And fair play to Pat for that.
Oh, you pointed.
Right. The link with the first team is every first team player should know all these boys come the end of the season. And they should all know the first team players. Interaction between them. And as the years develop over the next 4, 5, 6 years, the amount of kids that will come through the system, which is the system, them into 13s, into 15s, into 17s, into 19s, into the first team. By the time they hit 17s, 15s, 17s, 19s, the whole first team staff will be familiar with it. Now, some of them might play League of Ireland, some of them might not play League of Ireland. It's like I said, it's about the boys achieving the max they can achieve. You look at our first team squad, the amount of players from our club that have come through the first team squad. There's not one game Cabinteely has played over the last 4 years, going into our 5th year, that hasn't had a player that has come through our system. We've always had a player that has come through our system in our team on a match night. And that's unique in its own way. I don't think any other club can say that. But our goal is to get some of these boys and have as many as we possibly can playing the first team. And we won't stop until we achieve that. Because Pat drives us to make sure we achieve our targets. And that's one of our targets as coaches, as a club, that we get as many of our own boys into our first team. And it will happen. And it will improve year after year after year. And like I said, this year, I think we signed 8 of the 19s from last year. A couple of our 17s from last year are actually signed up to the first team as well. It's 10 players. So it does work. And it will improve as the years go on. Hopefully we have a good season. Hopefully we see the boys down there and the parties and the councillors and the media down at the games, because without you there's no point in us being here. So listen, thanks for your time, and I'll hand you back to Pat.